Hi, and welcome again to another edition of Market Analysis for today, July 12th of 2024. I'm Giovanni Benacour, analyst, trader, and educator with Vantage Markets. All right, so let's get right to it. A cynic who knows the price of everything and the value of nothing might be disappointed with the market's drop on Thursday. An optimist will be pleased with the hefty gains in stocks outside the technology sector. It was the big tech names of the Magnificent Seven that drove Thursday's declines in the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq, in particular Tesla, Nvidia, and Meta. In an opposite move to what's been happening over the past 2 years, the dip in these companies with huge market values dragged down the overall index, but most stocks in the S&P 500 had a great day. Now, yesterday was a rather odd day for the four equity indices, as the Russell 2000 showed major divergence from its peers during its positive 3.5% rally that took price just below the 52-week highs of 2,135. Meanwhile, the Nasdaq dropped about negative 2.2% and the S&P fell about negative 0.87%. Now, giving traders a significant discrepancy to consider as the week winds down. The Russell, which focuses on small cap companies, often is viewed as being a more risk-on product than its peers. This means traders frequently look to it for directional clues about which way the other indices could move during the trading day. But yesterday's activity threw this conventional relationship for a loop, and the divergence is continuing in early trading for the accompanying futures products. So with that being said, let's take a look at what we can come in today and speculate what could be the market fluctuation for today. So we've seen yesterday's drop. It almost hit that 21,000 obviously resistance by psychological resistance, and obviously it quickly just closed below the typical price for the week for this particular asset. It did seem to have rebounded around 20,400, and is looking obviously right now to move higher above that typical price. So I have my particular support right at the medium of the Bollinger Bands, and the RSI is looking further away from entering overbought territory. So that's for the Nasdaq. Let's take a look at the S&P 500. So the S&P 500 as well, yesterday doing that, hitting 5,700 above that. So that was a nice move on to the upside. So let's move our resistance to where those candles open and closed. So this one opened yesterday, this one closed here yesterday, and let's use 5,620 for support. So the direction of it for today could be in a recovery mode just to close the week on the green. And then we have the Dow that actually finally had breaking out of that particular movement into the upside, finally trading above that 40,000 marker. That's great news. That's a fantastic move to the upside. I want to put my support right at 40,000. Nice psychological round number. So at least let's see, and let's take a look at the Russell. So the Russell here, we see that parabolic movement yesterday. It also did the same scenario as the Dow. It was basically lateral movement and broke out to the upside. So let's see if today 2180 can be met for the Russell. So that's some good news. Crude oil, crude oil seems to be looking to recover from having those previous days in the red. So we finally trading above that $83. So $84 seems to be a nice psychological number for it. And I'm going to place my support right where the medium is as well for this. So going long with crude oil, Nat Gas. Take a look at Nat Gas. Oh boy, Nat Gas is just entering one of those sideways markets. So let's just bring down our level of support to 2.5 to 15. So let's see what will happen. It's looking as trading higher, but let's see. So gold yesterday did that nice parabolic movement of breaking to the upside above 2,400. So wow, that's a nice move for gold. So let's bring this puppy up here. 2390. Oh shoot, wait a minute. That was the I'm gonna erase that. That was the typical price, 2390 for gold. So it did, just traded lower. It seems to be rebounding now. Let's see if it'll be sustained. Silver also picked the head above our resistance, but they quickly close below it. So let's keep our levels, our same levels for today. It's Friday also, so keep that in mind. Copper seems to be the laggard, so I'm gonna bring down my resistance to the top Bollinger Band and my support now that we did fluctuate towards the medium and it did reverse. So let's just use that as our support. And Bitcoin looking again sideways trading. This is just another, it's one of those setups for a possible breakout. Let's see if it'll be up to the upside. Then the euro, oh, nice rally to the euro. Whoa. All right, so we're on 109. Let's see if it'll be sustained. And let's use 108,400 just as our support. Everything seems to be moving to the upside. Then we have the pound, 130 is right around the corner. So 130 is going to be, and let's just use 128.80 for our support, moving to the upside. And then the dollar index, dollar index just dropped. Boom. So let's just use 103.6 and 104.200. So let's keep that in mind. All right, it is the weekend. Have a great trading weekend, and have a nice weekend. Have a fantastic rest, and I will see you on Monday.